This lecture is based on the taxonomical aid, which is included under the chapter of Living World, which is your 11th standard first chapter. This is my third lecture on Living World. Here we are going to discuss about taxonomical aids. What do you mean by taxonomical aids? Taxonomical aids are nothing but collections of samples or preserved organisms which help in extensive research, which help in the identification of various taxonomic hierarchy. Classifying organisms into various categories needs a lot of field and laboratory study. Taxonomical aids, it involves the study of various species of plants and animals and different organisms which are useful in agriculture, forestry, industry, and it is one of the main biosource, and because of wide diversity in the ecosystem, this classification is mandatory for correct identification and studies of different organisms. Biologists have established several procedures and techniques to store and preserve the information as well as the specimen in their fresh condition or in their dried condition. So these are included under the topic which is called taxonomical aids. What are included under taxonomical aids? It is the first one, herbarium, next botanical garden, next museum, next one zoological park, next keys, next is flora, and the next one manual, and the last one monograph. Now the next slides will give you information regarding each and every taxonomical aids starting from herbarium to monograph. Now let's see each one of them in short. Herbarium. It is a storehouse of collected plant specimens in a dried condition that are dried, pressed, and they are preserved on sheets. These specimens, along with their descriptions on herbarium sheets, are stored in a house or a repository for future reference or future research studies by the researchers or the scientist. Botanical garden. Plant species in these gardens are used for identification purposes, and each plant is labeled indicating its botanical scientific name and its family. Next comes museum. Museum have collection of preserved plant and animal specimens for study as well as for reference purpose for the future studies. Specimens are preserved in the container or jars in preservative solutions. Next, zoological park. In zoological park, you can see various wild animals which are kept in a protected environment and under human care, which will enable us to learn more about their food habits and behavior. Next, aids is keys. A biological key is a list of questions that helps us to identify and classify the various plants and animals which is responsible for the huge diversity in our ecosystem. Flora. It contains the actual account of habitat and distribution of plants of a given area. They are mostly constrained and exhaustive. Next, monograph. It contains a comprehensive systematic study of a particular taxonomic group. It contains information on any one taxon. Next, the last one is a manual. Manuals are helpful in providing information for identification of names of species found in a particular area. A manual does not need to be exhaustive and its scope is typically user defined. Means in what way the user wants to use a particular information about a particular plant or an animal, that is being given by this manual. It is not that exhaustive. Whatever is required by a researcher or by a scientist is published in this manual. Let's discuss each one of this taxonomical aid in a brief account. Herbarium, it is a collection of dried and pressed plant arranged according to the classification system, and they are available for the research work or reference purpose, and that is something called as herbarium. It's a singular word and plural is herbaria. The name first it was applied by Linnaeus. These specimens which can be the whole plant or it can be part of the plant. They are usually dried and they are mounted on a wooden sheet. This is what is the photograph of an herbarium. It is based on a scientific collection. in continuous expansion of the plant specimens which are carefully dried, labeled and conveniently treated for its permanent preservation. Its research work focuses on the collection of the plant specimens which are catalogued and they are stored according to an orderly and systematic botanical classification. First of all, they are dried, they are preserved, then they are identified and labeled, and whatever reports are being given, they are computerized. Let's see the different important herbaria of the world. First, it's the Royal Botanic Garden, which is located in Kew, London. It consists of 6.5 million specimens. The next, Museum of Natural History in Paris, its number includes 5 million specimens. Konarov Botanical Society of Academy of Life Sciences of Leningrad, Russia, it includes 5 million species. British Museum of Natural History, London, it includes 4 million species. Royal Botanic Garden, Edinburgh, Scotland, includes 2.5 million species. Central National Herbarium, Sibpur, Kolkata, includes 2.5 million species. National Botanical Garden, Lucknow, in Uttar Pradesh, includes 1 million species. Forest Research Institute, Dehradun, in Uttaranchal, it includes 0.3 million species. So here they are giving you a list of herbaria all over the world with number of specimens included in that herbarium. So you need to remember the names of the herbarium as well as its location. Next taxonomical aid is Botanical Garden. These specialized gardens have collections of living plants for references. Plant species in these gardens are grown for identification purposes, and each plant is labeled with their botanical or the scientific name and its which family it belongs to. The famous botanical garden are at Kew, England, Indian Botanical Garden, Howrah in India, and the National Botanical Research Institute, Lucknow in India. Now these are the names of some of the famous National Botanical Garden. First one is National Botanical Garden in Lucknow, established in 1948. It includes 500 species of the trees, 500 species of rose hybrids. The second botanical garden is in Trivandrum, Kerala. It is Jawaharlal Nehru Tropic Botanical Garden and Research Institute, JNTBGRI, established in 1979. It includes a tropical plant responsible with various genetic resources. 4,000 species of flowering plants, 300 species of non-flowering plants, and 69 species of major attraction Bambusatum is included in this botanical garden located in Trivandrum, Kerala. The next, National Orchidarium Erkud, located in Tamil Nadu, established in 1963, and they include 3,000 trees and 1,800 shrubs. And the most attractive feature is it includes various insectivorous plants. The next botanical garden is in Kolkata, AGCB. This is nothing but established in 1786. It is one of the largest and the oldest botanical garden, which includes 15,000 species of plants, and the major attraction is the great banyan tree. Next, about museum. Biological museums are generally set up for educational purposes in educational institutes such as schools and colleges. They include collections of preserved plant and animal specimens for study and references. Specimens, they are preserved in the containers or jars in preservative solutions. At the same time, plant and animal specimen, they are also preserved in a dry specimen. The list of important museums of world are Natural History Museum located in London, England, United States National Museum located in Washington, USA, then Zoology Museum in Amsterdam, Holland, National Museum of Natural History in Delhi, India, then Prince of Wales Museum, Mumbai, India. Next, Indian Museum located in Kolkata in India, then Museum of Bombay Natural History Society, BNHS, located in Mumbai, belonging to India. Next taxonomical aid is zoological park. It is a place where most of the wild animals are protected under similar habitat as compared with their forest places or with their natural habitat. It provides an opportunity for studying the behavior and the food habits of the animals. There are various zoos in India, such as in Mysore, it's zoological park. In Hyderabad, we have Nehru Zoological Park. In Trivandrum, we have Trivandrum Zoo, and in Chennai, we have the Chennai Zoo. Next taxonomical aid is key. Key is another taxonomical aid which is used for identification of the plants and animals based on dissimilarities and similarities between the plants and animals. They uses the contrasting characters which are paired with each other, and that is called as couplet. It represents a choice made between two opposite options. This results in acceptance of only one and rejection of the other. So that means in couplet you have the contrasting character. Out of the two, one is selected, other one is rejected. Each statement in the key is called as lead. Separate taxonomic keys are required for each taxonomic category, such as family, genus, and species for identification purpose. Next is flora. What is flora? It is linked with the collection of the plants within a given region. It is involved in the publication of scientific descriptions of the plants. What are manuals? Manuals are useful in providing information for identification of the names of the species found in a particular area. Monographs, it contain information on any one taxon. This is all about the taxonomical aid.